Hello and welcome back, students, to another tutorial. So last time we were here, we finished those floating islands and we figured out how to create our checkpoints. So now we're going to move to another exercise where we will deal with variables, and at the same time we are going to create some boosts, like a jump boost and a fly boost. All right, so to do that, let's go ahead and start working on it. First thing we're going to do is I'm going to close the sequencer and I will go back up in my content drawer. In my content drawer, I will navigate back to Hour of Code on my left side, and then I will go to Blueprints, and you are going to see this BP Jump Boost, and that's the one we're going to use. So let's go ahead and pick it up and place it here. By the way, you should already have your checkpoint placed and here, and that's after this passage or obstacle course. All right, so this is our jump boost. It's basically a simple crystal that I can place it anywhere in the map. I want you to notice something. It has a material and also it has this orange sphere around it. The orange sphere around it is called a collider, and it is what detects when your player touch it. Without it, you won't be able to interact with the crystal. Yes, the collider does not match the geometry of the object exactly, which is fine. You want your collider to be as simple as possible so you don't spend too much computing on it, unless the collider shape matters in a certain situation, like accuracy. For example, if you have a first-person shooter game, you don't want the collider to be bigger than the person where a bullet passes by them, hits them, stuff like that. And we're going to cover more about collider in the future in this tutorials. All right, let's go ahead and look at our blueprints. I'm going to open my content drawer again. Jump boost, I will just double click it, and that will open my blueprint. All right, so in the event graph, we can see the event blueprint, basically the action that will happen when we trigger interaction with this object. Then in the viewport, you can see your material and you can change the material element. You can change the static mesh if you want. And then this is the collider, which you can also change the collider. And of course, this is the text above it, which does not appear into the game. It just shows here while we're editing. All right, let's look at the blueprint real quick. So I'm going to go back to the event graph. All right, so there is, as y'all can see here, it's divided to two sections. We are on activity 3, so we're only going to worry about the top part. We're not going to worry about the bottom part for now. All right, so let's zoom in. This is the first part of the blueprint. This is an event handler or an event call. And what happens is it says on component begin overlap. So as soon as something overlaps with the collider, because you can see here, sphere collider, which is this one here. If I went back the viewport, as you can see, this is your material down there. I'm just going to put it back to place. And this is your sphere collider down there. So that's what we're interacting with. As soon as something interact with it, then we move from this step to this step. So what interact with it? Another actor or another object in this case. And this actor will be our epic character, so us. So for example, if an island touched the boost will not trigger, only if our character touch it, because we told it, hey, only if our epic character touch it. All right. And what do we want to do with our epic character when we touch it? We want to take care or use the character movement. So that's what this node is doing here. And then we can keep going forward following the white line. By the way, the white line shows you the sequence of the event happening. Like this one happened first, this one happened first, this one happened next. The blue line just connects the different component that we need to make those events actually happen. So after we interact with it, the jump velocity changes. So we have set jump velocity, and we can see this the jump on the z-axis. And if you go back to the view, the z-axis is this blue one. So, and you can see it down here at the bottom left corner. It's responsible for up and down movement. All right, so we know we're changing that to a jump velocity amount. This is our variable jump velocity. And if you went here to the left side, you can see it, jump velocity, and it's a float. Float is just basically a number with decimal places. You can change it to integer to get a full number and stuff like that, but a float would work really well for us. And then whose velocity we're changing? The character movement velocity. So as you all can see, we're using this same node twice. All right. After we change the velocity, we want to toggle the visibility of our sphere. As you can see, we are changing the visibility by going and creating a toggle visibility. So what this does, if your stuff is visible, it makes them invisible. If it's invisible, it makes them visible. Just change the state. And the target of it was the SM power-up, which is this object here. And if you go back to the viewport and you select the object, you can see it is our crystal. So we don't want the crystal to stay on the screen. We want it to disappear after we get the boost. All right, but as I told you all earlier, it doesn't matter. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this. The way to move on the screen left and right is by right-clicking and dragging. All right, so the next part is set collision enables. So as I was saying, set collision is what is responsible for us interacting with the object. Because remember, this sphere collider is what triggers the event. So back to the event graph, as you can see, set collision enabled. The target is our sphere collider, this one. And the type of collision, we've set it to no collision because we don't want to be able to interact with it. Next, after that, we want to make a sound happen to give the player feedback so they know that, hey, I collected something. And basically here we call the sound, and we decided that the sound we needed to be at a location. So you can play a sound where it sounds directly from your headphone, or you can play it where it sounds that it's coming from the environment. And if you want it to come from the environment, you have to tell it where it needs to be. So we set the location to get actor location, and the target is self, meaning we wanted to get the location of the boost of basically these two, and then play the sound as if the sound was coming from that location. All right. All those three nodes are basically visual nodes. So they are, or interactive nodes, they are not necessary, except this one maybe, but their whole job is to give you a player experience. Next, the delay. So after you take the boost, the crystal will disappear. We don't want it to disappear forever. We want it to disappear for a short amount of time, then reappear so we can take the boost again. And also that same short amount of time will be the duration that the boost will be available for us. And we call that cooldown. And here will be the cooldown time. That's our variable. And it's also a public variable, and you can see it down here. And I'm going to talk more about how do we deal with public variables. So after we set the delay start counting down. And then after the delay finish, when it's complete, like let's say the 4 second in this case complete, we change the visibility again. So we go to the power up, change the visibility to visible. We change the collision again to collision enabled, query and physics. That's the kind of collision we need. So you don't have to change anything, by the way, here. I'm just walking you through the blueprint. And then we do this last checkup part. This part is basically checking if our player is still alive or not. Because if our player is not alive, we don't need to reset the jump to 600, which is the normal jump velocity, because nothing would happen. Like we were going to get an error. If, for example, if you took the boost and you fell down and your character died, then who are you going to reset the jump for? Nobody. So the whole thing this thing does is it checks if your player is alive. If your player is alive, available basically, then it reset the jump velocity back to 600. If it's not, then it's not going to do anything. This jump velocity resets automatically every time your character dies. So that's all in this code. All right. So now let's go ahead and test it. You can hit compile to compile it whenever you write something yourself, and you can see the explanation mark shows you it's not compiled. So I'm going to hit compile. And then you can hit save to save it. If you modified anything, don't save it or compile it. You can just close it. And now I'm going to close it. Back to my page. And this time I'm going to start here. So just make sure you are here, and again, make sure on the 3 dots, we're doing our current camera location. I'm going to play. So just to save myself the hassle, I'm going to take the checkpoint, and then I will go pick up the boost. Now, as you can see, my jump is way higher. Well, this is the normal jump. And then this is the jump with the boost. As you can see, now I'm able to get up to this further island. And I fell down. So we talked about the public variables. So if I selected my jump boost, like I'm clicking on it now, I can look down here where it says jump, and I will see my velocity and my cooldown. This one, if you change it, that will change how high your player can go, and the cooldown will change how long you have the boost until you have to reset. So those are 2 things you can manipulate to be able to change how the interaction with your jump boost is going. All right, so that's our boost. Now, let's add an interactive object to our game, such as coins, because, you know, people like to collect coins when they are playing video games. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so to collect our coins or to make our coins, we can go to content drawer, and we're going to find B coins. They're just there, sitting there. I'm going to just drag one here and drop it just for us to look at. And then I'm going to double click on it again, and that will open the blueprint. And as you all can see, this again, we will get to it in activity 5, so don't worry about it now. But again, we are doing the same thing, the overlapping, and we are activating where we are collecting the coin. So I'm just gonna close this for now. And let's test the coin for a second. All right, I'm gonna hit play. I collected the coin. So as of now, there is no feedback on how many coins I have, where the coins are going, or anything like that. That's something we're going to add in our next tutorial. All right, so for now, what I want you to do is go ahead and add the coins in different areas of the game. I would honestly start with our beginning. Again, to fly around the map, right click, and then you can move with AWSD. So I will start placing coins from here. Like maybe even just gonna show you a quick sample of how I'm gonna do it. Just drag them out, make them float on the air. Maybe every other one would need a coin, because the coins are usually used to help guiding your players to where they are supposed to go, so they can figure out, oh, this is where I'm supposed to go, or oh, this is where I'm not supposed to go. I'm gonna just place a couple coins, and then I will show you my final results. All right, so I added a few coins to the game. I'm going to show you what I did. And of course, you don't have to copy me. You do your own thing. So I added some coins in here. You can feel free to add a coin in every platform. That wouldn't be too much. People love collecting coins. And that could give people like a side quest on their map. But hey, you have to go here to get this coin. Right. This is the hardest part of my game so far. Oop. Yeah, so I'm just gonna skip that part because there is no way for me to win it in a timely manners. Alright, so let's say we made it to here. Right. And then I have my boosts. My boost will take me up here. I collect a couple more coins. And I added another boost up those stairs. And this boost takes me up this island. And then I'm going to be up at this platform. So a good question is, what can I do with this platform? What if my player can come here, grab another boost, and go ahead and fly? Let's do that. So, just gonna go press number 4 to get me back up here on this platform. So let's go ahead and create a flying boost. This one is out of this tutorial, but this is something I think y'all are gonna enjoy. So let's not start it from scratch. Let's go ahead and copy our jump boost. So open your content drawer, go to your hour of code, blueprint, PB jump boost, right click on it and copy object. What is it? Duplicate. Can press duplicate or Control D. And then let's name this one PB fly boost. All right. And now let's go ahead and open our fly boost. We're going to do a few edits to it before we start shoving it into the map. The first edit we need to do is in our viewport. Click on the viewport. We're going to select the power-up sphere. Let's change the color so it doesn't look like the color of the jump boost. We want it to look different so people can differentiate them. So I'm going to click on it. Actually, we don't need to double click. I'm just going to close the window. We can just click here on the material and just pick a different material color. This green color I think is good. I'm going to keep it on this green color. And that's it for our material. So back to the event graph. So this is the event graph and we're going to reuse it. So there are a few things we want to keep the same. We want to be able to interact with it through collision and we want our players to interact with it. The thing we don't need is we don't need our player to be the one or like jump velocity and stuff like that. We don't want that to happen. All right, so we don't need our jump velocity as well, so we can get rid of that. And if we moved all the way to the end, we also don't need the jump velocity. We can get rid of that. So we need to make it fly. There is an easy way to make it fly. If you right click on anywhere in the screen and you hide the context sensitive part and you type the word fly, you're going to realize something. There is something called epic character and there is something called fly in it. So I'm going to pick it up. All right, so what would happen if I connect my epic character to fly and then I connected fly to the rest of it? And then whatever is flying is going to be my character. So I don't even need this one right now, so I'm going to delete that. So epic character is going to fly. And then everything will happen. So what would happen if we did this? Let's go ahead and compile and then go back to the game. I think we were on number 4, yes. So let's go ahead and add a crystal here, the fly boost. I'm gonna just put it there and let's play. Let's see what happened if we did that. Okay, I will take the fly boost. Perfect, I'm flying. So the timer on the cooldown was 4 seconds. But as you can see, the crystal is already back there and I'm still flying. I'm not landing anytime soon. So that's not how we want it to go. We want to be able to fly and then after the boost ends, we want to be able to land. So let's go ahead and fix that issue. All right, back to our blueprints. We want to change this fly from just being fly all the time to being conditionally fly. Hey, fly if the timer is on. Oops, sorry, I did not mean to do that. So where does this fly is coming from? The fly is coming from our epic character. So if you double click on it, it will actually open where the event happens in your character sheet. So if I zoom out, you can see this is how my character is handling jumping. This is how my character is handling flying, but the flight is not active. And these are like the game input, movement input. This is what control player death and all the other things in our character sheet. So we need to focus on flight. By the way to zoom in and out is by rolling the middle click in the middle wheel in your mouse. So let's do and add a condition to our fly inputs or fly event. By clicking on it, selecting it, and then where it says inputs, go ahead and add an input. And I'm going to call it is able to fly. And it will be a boolean. The reason I'm naming it is able to fly because is flying is already an existing thing and I don't want it to be confusing for y'all. So that's the boolean that we will be controlling. And then, so right now, the fly happens, but there is no way for us to exit the flight. But if you looked at the jump code, you can see that we get here to the switch and then we are exiting the jump mode. So let's do that. Let's make it where we can exit the jump boost. All right, or the fly boosts, sorry. So we're gonna add a branch here. We're gonna write if, and the if will open a branch. You can select the branch, and this is basically an if statement. If something happened, then do something else. So we're gonna move from the fly to the branch, and then the condition here we're going to add is able to fly, which, where did we leave it? We actually did not leave it anywhere. So we are going to add this as boolean 2, just drag it, connect it to the condition. So now is able to fly is connected to the condition. And then if we are able to fly, then we're fine. If we're not able to fly, if it's false, we want to go to out of flying mode. And we want to connect the branch like that. So the connection we made between is able to fly to our branch, the condition, and then if the answer is false, mean we can't fly, then we want to get out of flying mode. Okay, so that's everything we need to edit in the character. We're going to save, compile. If it gave you the green, that means there is no errors. I will close the epic character page, and we're back to the flying boost. Now we can see, hey, the condition is available here. And what I can do is activate it here. So is able to fly is true in here. And then I can go all the way to the end and call is able to fly again. Right click, fly, and then make sure the context sensitive is off. And then grab the epic character fly, put it here. We're going to go again here. And this time we're going to deactivate it, no tick mark. And then I will take the target back to my character. So now the same thing as the jump boost. We fly, everything disappear. We have the sound played, we have the delay and everything. And then when we're done flying, we land. All right, so down here at the jump boost on the left side, we don't need the jump velocity anymore, but we still need the cooldown. All right, so that's that now. We can compile and save, and we can close it. Now, let's test our fly boost. So I can fly, and as soon as my timer is dead, I can see that I landed. And here's a bug that we would need to fix at one point if you picked it up while you are falling down. All right, so we can see the flying is working, and I'm gonna actually try it for a little longer. I'm pressing number 4 to guide me back to this spot. Okay. Collect the coin, and then let's fly. So what can you do with this? You can use those islands on the off distance. I would probably change the cooldown to be able to fly longer. Again, I pressed 4. You can select the object, go to the cooldown, maybe make the flight down to 10 seconds. Be a little generous with the flight. Or I guess it's made it to 6. Let's see, why wouldn't you go to 10? Well, I guess 6 is the maximum. We need to figure that one out too. Let's play and see. Is that enough to get me to the island? Yep, just enough. So you can use something on those islands. You can add coins, jump boost and stuff here. So you can basically move from these islands back to where you came from. So I'm going to let you all play around with that, and that's everything for this lesson.